We're on the road for today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson, your navigator. Our first stop, a review of the government's plans for improving the nation's roads. And later, Kingston, the heartbeat, the commercial and business hub, and of course, the entertainment mecca of Jamaica. We review the foundation of this dynamic city, but I'm going to make my first stop. But I want you to stay tuned because the news is next.
Each time you're not paying full attention to the road environment, the greater your chances of getting in a crash like that. Plan routes to avoid focusing on GPS systems, prevent children from roaming in motor vehicles, turn down the volume of car stereo systems, pull off the roadway if you have to use mobile devices, do not read, watch television or eat while driving, avoid multitasking, and keep conversations with other passengers to a minimum. Whether you walk, ride or drive, avoid potentially fatal distractions.
Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, July 9. Cabinet, through the Electricity Sector Enterprise Team ESET, now has the authority to manage the procurement and project implementation for new generation capacity on the island. This includes the 360 megawatt project that was previously awarded to Energy World International EWI. Cabinet's new powers were made possible after government amended the license granted to the Jamaica Public Service Company. The license was modified on Monday, July 7.
It will also grant the JPSCO a right of first refusal in relation to the replacement of any of its existing generation facilities. The amendments and related matters are pertinent to the critical and urgent issue of the procurement of the new base load generation capacity. It removes constraints that we all acknowledge on the ability of ESET to proceed with this mandate.
While closing the sectoral debate Tuesday, the Energy Minister reminded that ESET was established to have oversight of the 360 megawatt project once EWI's license is revoked on July 21. He said great care was being taken to make cheaper electricity rates a reality for Jamaicans.
In this regard, Mr. Speaker, the Cabinet was advised by ESET that consultancy services are being engaged to complete within 2 months the following work. Firstly, a least cost generation plan, a power plant site option, and thirdly, the business model and projected financial long-term plan for JPS.
Jamaica is making greater trade inroads into the Venezuelan market as the Caribbean Cement Company Limited (CCCL) gets set to expand the volume of clinker it ships to the South American company under the Petrocaribe Trade Compensation Mechanism. That mechanism allows the Jamaican government to use the trade arrangement to offset its debt obligations for the oil received under the Petrocaribe Energy Accord. Building on an earlier deal for the shipment of $8.5 million worth of clinker, CCCL is now preparing to ship an additional $20.5 million of clinker to Venezuela. The Energy and Mining Minister has applauded the deal, adding that more local companies need to take advantage of the trade arrangement.
Apart from cement, that country's economy has real and potential demand for a wide range of products that our manufacturers and producers can satisfy. So, Mr. Speaker, the Ministries of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Foreign Affairs, Finance and Planning, and my own will be working closely with our private sector to facilitate further opportunities under the trade compensation mechanism.
The Office of Utilities Regulation (OUR) is holding meetings with stakeholders to discuss the decision by Digicel and Lime to block applications that allow users to make free phone calls over the internet. The telecommunications companies have blocked Voice over Internet Protocol (VoIP) services from accessing their networks. Technology State Minister Julian Robinson says the company's decision is actually permissible under the Telecommunications Act.
It's a broader issue of how other persons will have access to a network, what price they will pay for the data, the speed of the data, etc. And those are the discussions that the OUR has actually begun.
The state minister was speaking with business leaders and investors on Friday at the American Chamber of Commerce Town Hall meeting. He is urging persons and entities with concerns and positions on the matter to make submissions to the OUR. The National Contracts Commission (NCC) is to be separated from the Office of the Contractor General and given its own office and staff. The commission will then be renamed the Public Procurement Commission. Portfolio Minister Horace Daly told Parliament on Tuesday that this was part of plans to revamp the public procurement system to improve efficiency within the public sector. A new procurement law will also be tabled in Parliament soon.
There will also be established a public procurement appeals body where a contractor can appeal to. If you feel you are wrong as a contractor, as someone doing service for government, you go to the Public Appeals Board.
A new contractor registration system will also be developed and the emergency contracting procedures reviewed. To speed up the contracts award process, the Ministry of Finance will no longer need to comment on all contracts before they are approved. Government's plan to improve the business climate and public sector service delivery will be boosted with the approval of a $37 million World Bank project. A release from the World Bank says the public sector transformation project will improve customs administration and modernize the public sector. Specifically, it will strengthen the public investment management system, roll out new operating procedures for customs, and strengthen the Bureau of Standards to provide improved services to the trading community. The public sector transformation project was financed through a $35 million loan from the World Bank and a $2.64 million grant from the Department for International Development. And finally, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller is out of office on vacation. Mrs. Simpson Miller will be off the island on holiday from July 8 to 11. While the Prime Minister is out of office, the Minister of Water, Land, Environment and Climate Change, Robert Pickersgill, will be in charge of the government. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.
It's time for us to get it right. Equal rights and justice. For our men and women. Equality. A message from the Bureau of Gender Affairs and Dispute Resolution Foundation, paid for by the UN Women Fund for Gender Equality.
The country's roads are key to trade and communications. Through the strategic priority number 1, fiscal prudence and pursuit of a credible macroeconomic program, the government aims to not only improve the nation's roads, but to do so while practicing cost containment.
We are constantly seeking ways to use each dollar more efficiently.
And that's not just talk from the minister with responsibility for maintaining the nation's roads. This fiscal year, his ministry is taking the lead on 2 major initiatives to improve Jamaica's road network and maximize savings to the government's coffers. As part of the strategy to do more with less, government wants to build more concrete roads. Compared to other materials, research has shown that concrete roads have a longer life expectancy, they're more durable, have a better load carrying capacity, and are more competitively priced. It's estimated that concrete roads remain stable for 13 to 30 years, compared to asphalted surfaces that last for 6 to 20 years. This alternative road construction method is widely used in the Caribbean, Europe, and Asia, and has even covered a few Jamaican roads. But now, the Transport and Works Ministry wants to expand its use locally.
for future road construction activities. The bid documents prepared by the NWA will invite responses which speak only to the technical specifications required for the structure of the roads to be built or repaired. In other words, responses can either be for constructing using asphalt or concrete.
Minister Davies made that announcement in May, and his colleague Minister of Local Government has since indicated similar plans. In the coming weeks, the two ministries will work together to rehabilitate 2 kilometers of roadway along the access pathway to the Riverton City landfill using concrete. The repairs will improve on the utilization of the landfill and reduce downtime and operating costs for garbage trucks.
This ministry, along with the Ministry of Transport, Works and Housing, is assessing road construction technologies with the intent of realizing value for money in the road building sector.
The Ministries of Local Government and Transport and Works are also collaborating on another fiscally prudent initiative. The Works Ministry, through the National Works Agency, will be working with the local government authorities which have oversight for parochial road networks. To efficiently fix more community-based roads, they will agree on the roads to be fixed and in what order.
This is not simply about my ministry passing over additional resources to the local authority, but the greater coordination in designing responses, as well as the technical specification and procurement policies.
The result will be a more efficient use of existing resources. The government is working for the people, adopting strategies to provide better roads while making sure Jamaican taxpayers get the biggest bang for their buck.
In 2012, 11,964 persons were victims of fire. The Jamaica Fire Brigade wants you to be prepared. Plan your escape route, install and maintain fire extinguishers, practice fire drills. Look out for warning signs of dangerous wiring.
Don't cook and leave it unattended. Don't overload circuits. Don't allow children that are not of the age of 12 and untaught to be fooling around with fire in general.
Once a fire starts, you need to call us.
For more information on fire prevention, contact the Jamaica Fire Brigade. Call 922-2523 or 922-0007 or visit their website jfb.gov.jm.
Our message to the public is prevent, prevent, prevent.
The Jamaica Fire Brigade, saving lives, protecting property.
Kingston, the capital of Jamaica, represents many things here at home and abroad. In our next feature, we look at the factors which led to the creation of the city as we know it today.
Kingston, modern-day Jamaica's capital city, is home to the world's 7th largest natural harbor and the island's center of finance and commerce. This is a city which hath foundation. In Kingston town. Towards the end of the 16th century, Kingston was an area of housing boasting little more than a few pigs, pig farmers, and fishing shacks. Following the catastrophic earthquake of 1692, a major portion of the nearby flourishing town of Port Royal perched on the opposite side of the harbor went crashing beneath the sea. Survivors found refuge on the piece of land encasing the harbor that would come to be known as Kingston. The vision for a new town was to be realized after the purchase of the land from Governor William Beeston. Soon after, a new town based upon a town plan drawn up by John Goff, a surveyor, was succeeding the commercial epicenter of Port Royal. Kingston was declared by law as a parish in 1693 and a town 20 years later. The natural harbor by the town enabled it to flourish as an important seaport, and traders who grew fat on the profits built fine houses throughout the town. As the center of commerce and fashion, Kingston rapidly outshined Jamaica's tranquil official capital in Spanish Town. Talks of moving the capital from the St. Catherine area to the big city created a split between the planter and the administrative classes, who were resisting the move, and the merchants wanting the capital in Kingston. But the move was carried out by Governor Charles Knowles, who passed an act transferring the government offices to Kingston in 1755. Controversy brewed, and the merchants' success was short-lived, as soon after Governor Knowles was recalled to London in 1758, the next governor repealed the act. Spanish Town was once again the capital. A huge procession of carts brought back the island's papers to Spanish Town, a victory against Knowles and the merchants, celebrated with bonfire and a burning effigy of Knowles and his ship. Kingston would continue to grow as Jamaica's center of commerce, but there would be challenges. In 1874, the area had to deal with the major challenge of overcoming a devastating hurricane. In the aftermath, development plans progressed, and in 1802, the town was granted city status. Growth continued despite other calamities, such as a huge fire in 1843, a cholera epidemic in 1850, and another fire in 1862. Rapid infrastructural developments began following the arrival in 1866 of Governor Sir John Peter Grant. Kingston was embellished with its first piped water system, a gas works, a fire brigade, and a market. Improvements were made to streets and public buildings and a mule-drawn tram car. The city of Kingston was now a much healthier and more prosperous place to live. The unavoidable came in 1872. Over a century after it was first changed, the capital was once again transferred to Kingston, this time permanently. In 1897, electricity generation began by West India Electric Company, and the city saw the installation of its first electric line from the tram depot on Orange Street to the foot of King Street.
A healthy and educated people living in a clean, natural environment, reducing crime, improving the justice system and governance, building a prosperous economy. It's not just a vision, it's reality. Learn about the plan. Join the vision.
My country, Jamaica, has a rich heritage and is very unique. If we all pull together, we can make it the place of choice to live, work, raise family, and to do business.
For more information on Vision 2030, call the Planning Institute of Jamaica or visit vision2030.gov.jm, your parish library, school library, or the Jamaica Information Service.
Vision 2030 is the national development plan geared towards making Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. Do you realize that in 2030, it will be your children and their children who will be the leaders and caretakers of this nation? So, what can you do in your homes and workplaces to impact the realization of this vision? There are core values you can adopt and practice: honesty, respect, truthfulness, trust, forgiveness, and tolerance. Discipline, responsibility, love, punctuality, compassion, cooperation, national pride, and a good work ethic. Do not deprive or limit your child's education. Develop effective parenting habits. Provide adequate support for the vulnerable in your families, the physically and mentally challenged, and of course, the elderly. For this plan to be successful, we all need to play a role, and no matter how small it may seem, that role contributes to the whole.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub.
A topical subject on the minds of many Jamaicans. What exactly is the Jamaica Logistics Hub initiative?
Logistics is the process by which businesses manage the flow of goods, services, people, information, energy, and other resources through the entire supply chain from source to end users.
The various components of the hub will allow Jamaica to capitalize on the increased trade expected to flow through the region when the Panama Canal expansion is completed in 2016.
We are not saying by that all of the project would have been finished. We are saying that there's a core set of projects and programs that must be implemented.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub, a plan in action to increase trade and grow the economy.
We took a look at its beginning, so let's continue that journey through Kingston by revealing its present and taking a glimpse at its future.
Over the centuries, Kingston has transformed with more appealing features and sturdy buildings, while preserving its historically grand architectural structures. At the center of downtown Kingston, the powder blue Ward Theatre flanks Parade on the north. To the east, Coke Methodist Church. The first Methodist chapel built in Jamaica, the beautiful Kingston Parish Church sits south, and westward is Coronation Market, the largest and most frequented in the island. Kingston remains the seat of power and the main port of entry to the island, with the Norman Manley International Airport perched on the breathtaking Palisado Strip. Beyond that is the quite laid-back historic Port Royal, with its interesting tourist attractions and fine seafood restaurants, fort, and museums displaying major archaeological findings. With its grandiose meeting place, public green space, and alluring harbour front, Kingston has much to offer. This city, the centre of financial and commercial activity, has a rich history as a place for entertainment and other social events. Whether it's that relaxing moment in the cool with a wonderful view of the harbour, or partying under the stars, a hotel ballroom event, or a walk with nature, Kingston has an oasis for everyone. And as birthplace of our world-renowned reggae music, it also sits proudly as the epicenter of the island's musical and artistic culture. Trench Town, the origin of many important reggae bands, including the Wailers, the Heptones, and the Abyssinians. The National Gallery, housing the leading art collection in Jamaica with important artworks produced chiefly by Jamaican artists, along with some international masters. Today, residents of both parishes of Kingston and St. Andrew are considered citizens of Kingston. This has been the case since the merger in 1923 of the local government bodies of both parishes to form the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation, the KSAC. The KSAC, with its full-time administrative staff, manages the affairs of the parishes based on its own policy, the KSAC Act, and other laws and regulations defining its duties and powers. These include partnering with various departments and agencies of central government to provide general services for both Kingston and St. Andrew, referred to as the corporate area. Kingston, the smallest of Jamaica's parishes, covers an area less than 22 square kilometers, but together with St. Andrew, occupies 452.4 square kilometers. This sprawling urbanized area is the most densely populated of the parishes. During the 1960s, the fortunes of Jamaica's capital city had a major shift. With an increase in rural to urban migration, the city expanded to the north, where residential structures were converted for offices and other commercial purposes. New Kingston and Constant Spring developed to become new office nodes and business centers. City Kingston now has to regain lost grounds, and a rebuilding mode has been set in motion by governments over the years. That involves upgrading of the city's roadways and the creation of new ones, along with improvements to the waterfront. The rise of a series of multi-story buildings with modern architectural taste, apartment complexes, shopping arcades, restaurants, banks, and new office spaces are all planned. Old buildings in the city are being restored, and the stocks of housing in communities are being renewed. As this active transformation of the city gains momentum, its historic architectural character is being preserved as national monuments. There is now new life flowing through the area, as businesses are again seeing the capital as their home. And with its large natural harbor and ports, it's fast becoming the port of choice by shipping interests worldwide. This is Kingston, the city which hath foundation.
Every duty vehicle on the road or the bridge, listen the message. No overload. Quarry operator, haulage contractor, a trailer driver. No overload. Truck overload destroys our roads. I want to say, check your speed, check your state, make sure you're not overweight. Take the time to make it safe, even if you're little late. Some of the road they leany, sinky, twisty. Truck overload destroys our roads. So drive a heavy duty vehicle on the road or the bridge, listen the message.
A message from the Island Traffic Authority and the National Road Maintenance Fund.
I finished my errands, and what a beautiful way to enjoy the sights and sounds of Kingston. That's our program for today. Thank you for watching. We'd like to hear from you, so drop us a line. Send an email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or a tweet at JIS News. Please remember to visit our website, jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the entire production team at the JIS, I'm your navigator, Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.